right, so things are looking a little bit better for us right now. Obviously, we're on the eastern end of Lake Erie. We're somewhere between the Pennsylvania border and Buffalo, but when we almost didn't come out this morning. When we got here this morning, we looked out the marina and the waves were crashing over the jetty, and I looked at Ted and said, are we gonna be able to do this? I mean, things changed really quickly here. We're glad they did. As you can see now, this is what we got. Really, really nice conditions. For Lake Erie, this is beautiful, but things didn't really start that way. Ted, what did they call for this morning?
Oh, light west wind, light and variable, and it was stiff out of the north when we got here, probably 3 to 4 footers when we first came out. Like you said, we didn't think we were gonna get out, and we gave it a whirl because we only had to go a mile outside of the marina, and that wind cut down, it laid down nice, and we're catching walleye.
I got news for you folks. Normally it doesn't work in our favor. Anytime you bring a camera out to film, the weather just turns bad. Things are not looking good, but today things worked out for us. And remember, we're not trying to catch 20 fish here today. We just wanted to get 10 walleye, get some nice fish to eat, get a quick episode, and I think we're gonna get it.
Okay, got the first walleye of the day on. Not a giant, but an average Lake Erie walleye. A little choppy to start out here, but we're gonna get it done. Hopefully he's still on there. You're gonna go right under its head when I tell you, whoops, hold on now. Get in there. Now, there you go. First one in the boat.
You're hired, George.
There's the first one of the day. Average Lake Erie walleye. Good eating fish.
I don't even see. There it is.
Nice and slow and easy. Watch where he's going here. Start lifting, gently lift your rod.
Oh yeah, I see it. There we go. Oh, got him.
Number 2 of the day. George got his first one. This is perfect Lake Erie walleye specimen here. These are what we're looking for all the time. Just landed number 2 and number 3 on the rod now. Rod went off while we were doing a little photo shoot. Seems like an average walleye.
There is no bad walleye.
No.
As long as it's legal.
Okay, go under his head now. There you go.
Very good.
3. Here, number 3 of the day. Another typical, beautiful Lake Erie walleye. We're out here in the eastern basin of Lake Erie. Kind of a crazy day. The screen isn't exactly what I wanted, so I kind of switched tactics. Put some rods on the bottom, a couple planer boards out, and we got the whole water column covered, and it's starting to work for us. So we're going to talk a little bit about the rigs we used out on Lake Erie today. When we got out there, I noticed that the fish were not congregated together. They were scattered throughout the water column. So we had to make sure we covered as much of the water column as possible. So we used 2 different techniques. First technique, we used inline planer boards, which take the line out to the side. As far as the rig itself, we used a 3-ounce inline sinker tied directly to the main line, 15-pound fluorocarbon leader down to a worm harness. We were letting that out about 80 feet behind the board. That brings that rig down between 30 and 40 feet. And it was money for the fish that were up in the water column. Real simple setup, nice limber, 7.5 to 8 foot rod, low profile line counter reel. And for planer boards, inline planer boards, we always use monofilament because it floats more. This is 20-pound trialing big game. Real simple setup. Just let out however much you want behind the planer board and clip your planer board on. Peg it to the back, let her out, takes it out to the side and puts you in that strike zone. Number, what is this, 4 of the day?
We hope it's number 4. Let's see what happens here. You got a net right in front of you. Are you tangled?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just gently lift the rod, gently lift.
Oh, watch my foot, watch my foot. Okay. Got him. You can tell it's a big one?
It's got a lot of weight to it.
He must be down a little bit still. I still can't see him.
Yeah, I got 25 feet of line out yet in the line counter, so.
The suspense is killing.
Get up under his head, There you go. That is a tank.
Nice.
Look at this absolute tank of a walleye. Eastern basin of Lake Erie. I think this was number 6 for the day. This thing, I looked over and my inline planer board was getting buried in the water, so I knew it was a good fish.
Oh yeah, you can see you got one on there.
Number 3 for me.
Number 7 for the boat. Was that a lake trout?
No, that's a big walleye.
Really?
Nice and easy.
George!
Oh, 2 big tanks.
2 tanks in a row.
Darn!
Look at the fins on this guy, sharp as nails. Number 3 for today, and he's my favorite.
So the second rig we're utilizing today were our fish that were close to the bottom or on the bottom. And what we basically call this is a bottom bouncing rig. This is a 4-ounce piece of lead sinker. You can use pencil lead. This happens to be a round cannonball style. Hooked right up to a 3-way swivel. Tied to the main line. And about 4 foot, 15-pound fluorocarbon leader right down to the worm harness. Again, 7 to 7.5 foot limber rod. These reels though, when I'm going deep, I use a 20-pound braid as opposed to 20-pound monofilament because you want that line to cut down and get to the bottom. On the business end of this, real simple. We're just taking a night crawler. These are all hand-tied harnesses. You can buy store-bought ones, but I tie my own. Number 2 octopus style hook. We use 2 hooks for a trailer for short hits. Hook the head of the worm through the upper hook, stretch the worm out a little bit, and the second hook, and that'll run nice and straight right behind that spinner rig and bring those walleyes in. Now, our kicker, I always call it our kicker. What we do to even entice those fish more, we are applying Pautzke's fire gel walleye scent and nightcrawler scent. Both work very well. Real super easy. You're just taking the fire gel, taking a little smear of it, dabbing it on the back of that blade, and that rig is ready to go as the worm crawl through the table. Here we are. What was this, number 8 of the day? 9? I don't even remember.
Either 8 or 9.
They're scattered, but we're picking away at them. Dip now. There you go.
You're hired, George.
First mate George. So here we are, another typical Lake Erie walleye. This is about an 18-incher. So Lake Erie, they claim there's over 40 million walleyes in Lake Erie. The ones that are the best table fare are right here. 18 to 21 inches are my favorite. Perfect eating size, just a great fish to cook however you like, so many different ways, and this one is gonna taste good.
Today's episode of Pautzke Outdoors comes to you close to the Pennsylvania border here in New York on Lake Erie shoreline. Now we're out here today only spending about 2 to 3 hours chasing walleye with guide Ted Kessler at Rivermaster Charters. The goal was for us to come out here and show how easy it was to catch these fish even on a tough bite with walleye and nightcrawler fire gel. We weren't trying to catch 30 or 40 fish to fill a freezer. We just wanted to catch a dozen, have a little fun, and we succeeded today here on the eastern end of Lake Ontario during the summer months catching walleye. Pautzke products are available at sporting goods stores near you. If you can't find the specific color, size that you want, make sure to go to Pautzke.com. And as a thank you for watching Pautzke Outdoors, we're going to show you a coupon code to be used for 10% off your next order.